Do you have a matric?
We don't have matric.
Post-matric or post-A1 level did you go to?
So
University or technicon or anything of that
I
sort?
went to a technicon, but I'm not prepared to discuss my educational background.
Which one?
I said I went to a technicon, but I'm not prepared to discuss my educational background. I made that clear. And
No,
the
you're going
reason-
to have to discuss your educational background because you took our money, pilot certificate.
Well, I can show you my pilot's license right now.
No, not license, school.
It's about to go down.
Now, do you have a bachelor's degree?
Now, as to the competency assessment, remember that when you get to the competency assessment, it's a document where they say to you, it's an exercise where they say to you, there's no right or wrong answer. This is just to look at your character and whether you are a strong person and which character you are. You don't really even need to spend time on this thing because there's no way you will get this thing right to say you are right or wrong. So I wrote what I wrote and the result came the way they came and say you can be suitable here and not here. That is what happened.
Why pass and why fail?
Well, I don't. It doesn't say you failed it like it's a it's like whether you passed. What do you call it? Let me say it was not positive.
Why pass and why fail?
Okay, let me say I fail.
Okay.
Do you have any form of intelligence gathering training, any formal training?
Clandestine training, yes. Formal, you mean with qualifications?
Yes.
No.
You don't have qualifications?
No.
Do you have a bachelor's degree?
No, I did it with them. I started with a certificate and with Regenesis.
Babe mkhona nje ngiyabuyela la
NQF level, I did it, it's NQF level, the postgraduate, it's NQF level 6, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm not sure why you're so defensive today.
Honorable James and Honorable Adam.
No, why? Because I'm trying to get you a set of questions.
No.
Refusing to answer.
Honorable James. Wait.
Only woman that screams at me is the one I sleep with.
Wait.
Not screaming at you.
Wait.
Honorable Adams, please, you must act with restraint. You might be an honorable member, but you are appearing on a different cap where you are now. And the only thing you can do is to act with restraint and respect members of parliament. Because if they are being disrespected by other members of parliament, you are eroding the authority of this committee. Whereas you speak over the chairperson. So I can see if you have a problem with Honorable James, what is the problem with the chairperson? Because chairperson speaks, you speak on top of his voice. It's not done. Let Honorable James say whatever she wants to say. I was saying to Honorable Mateis, you know, politics are a boxing ring. You throw a punch, they're going to throw punches at you. When we speak for long, defending and protecting what you are right to do, whatever you wanted to do, you don't interrupt us. But if she says something you don't like, you interrupt her. Not everybody is going to say what you like here. You're going to sit there and listen to her. And then at an appropriate moment, you'll respond to her. We're not here to get praises or criticism. It goes different ways. All it needs, it's a man who can take punches. And a man, I mean both women and men. So, Chair, I think, please, let's respect the chairperson. When he calls order, we must all come back to order and not challenge his authority over this meeting. It's late in the night, and Honorable James is probably the last one, and unless Honorable Skosana decides to raise his hand. But so far, we are safe.
I know you are lying to us, so I want you to come back and give us an answer to this, an honest and truthful answer when we come back, because right now you are lying to us.
Why would people call you 007?
Maybe it will. In my profile there, I've set myself as zero tolerance to crime. So now these people, they take this 0, add another 0, and say 007. This is what I'm saying.
And where does the 7 come in all of this?
You know, commissioners, some, they call me 10,111.
Outside of your work situation, it cannot be that people die all the time around you. Die as a result of murder. I'm not talking deaths by natural causes. It cannot be that people die around you as a result of murder all the time outside of your work situation. So this is something out of the ordinary, so to speak. And you write and you say, why didn't you call him to order? Surely you remember that. You cannot tell us that you do not remember that. And if you tell us that, I'm saying directly to you and to your face that you are lying. Please try to come up with a different answer, which is more plausible. Otherwise, you are just telling us lies.
To respond on that, Commissioner, but with due respect, the way Commissioner is putting it, that there is no way that people are dying outside of my work, and with this man, it portrays another picture that maybe I might know what is happening, or I might have knowledge, and I'm not doing anything about it.
The murders of these DJs is drug related. When the picture you're going to see when the matters gets to court is that this one thought he's clever by stealing this one's drugs and he starts selling them, and this one then killed him. So not to say the victim is a clean man on drugs. He died because of something that he did wrong to this one.
There are people who've characterized your criticism of Mkhwanazi as an attack. I even saw Mbuyiseni Ndlozi tweeting that, you know, Mkhwanazi must be shielded from all petty, egotistical, pompous, and parasitic attacks. You don't think that was an attack, do you?
No. That's why I'm repeating it. Anyone can hold any view, any short syndrome man's view on this matter. I don't care. I've got my own views and I speak facts. He must never, Mkhwanazi, use EFF or Julius Malema or CIC as a swear word to General Khan. If he wants to insult Khan, he says EFF, Malema, dinner of EFF. What is that? Has got to do with anything? We've never done anything to the guy. He's just attacking us, and you expect us to fold our arms? He says, I met Malema through Khan, suggesting some impropriety, and he lives there. He leaves the sentence there. So once you don't tell the full truth, it amounts to a lie. You're lying. Why are you hiding that you called Khan and you spoke very bad about your minister to me, and you spoke very bad about your national commissioner to me? He must know, Mkhwanazi, I'm not scared of a policeman. I've never provoked him. I've never said anything. But he must stop dragging my name. And people say, Malema is saying all of these things because he's got anything to hide. Why would I say that if I've got anything to hide to such powerful people who are arresting people willy-nilly? I mean, look at that security guy, Calvin, in KZN. Mkhwanazi goes and litigate with Calvin in court, and then he says this guy is defaming him and all of that. Rightfully so. Mkhwanazi wins. He doesn't wait a day. He goes and apply for search warrant against Calvin. Himself is involved, directly involved in searching Calvin and all of that. I'm not here. I hold no brief for Calvin. But why would you do that when you know you and this guy have got issues? That's an extreme conflict. You should assign someone and say, look, I received this information. Please deal with it, because if I deal with it, it's going to appear like I'm revenging because I was with this guy just yesterday or in the morning with him in court.
The men of
dictatorships and so forth, and their countries are under corrupt leaderships. Must come here because we're doing better. What about the South Africans? How does that affect a South African? And there are other countries in Africa that are doing better, Morocco, Egypt, but you know why they're doing better? It's because they're protecting themselves and they're keeping the Mnotwa before themselves. How are we going to grow an economy where we don't know the number of people who are in that economy? How are we growing an economy when we can't sustain the number of people that the country is taking care of? We are a welfare state currently. Millions of people are on welfare. Who is supposed to take care of, whose money is supposed, whose taxes is supposed to take care of these people? You can't just have a blanket approach and say because we are doing well. How are we doing well? We are not even growing. We haven't grown even, I think our growth is estimated at 2%. 2% growth in a country and you say that country is doing well. That's a very, very, very ignorant statement. And it's said coming from someone who's an economist. In terms of the Refugee Act, you're supposed to go to the nearest country. South Africa is not the nearest country to all those countries, even those Ethiopians and Somalians who claim to be running away from their countries. You are not supposed to just run to South Africa. And they can't say they're running away from war if they're coming and they're bringing their men. Where are the women? Which country has wars and only men are running to that country? Because we sing of an influx of Ethiopians and Somalians who claim to be refugees and they're coming from way out of this country, crossing several countries that they can go and make home to their home if they are refugees. Why are they all coming to South Africa? Why are refugees setting up businesses in this country? What does the Refugee Act say for them to have tuck shops and want to have mafia groups and so forth? Now we've got spazza shop mafias being run by Ethiopians and Somalians who claim to be refugees who are men. What kind of refugees are here terrorizing the locals who want to open spazza shops? Those are not refugees, those are criminals. And every time South Africans make a call about this, we are told that people have problems in their country. If they have problems in their country, you can't make South Africa a solution to countries having problems. South Africa is a country that has to take care of its own problems. South Africa is a country that currently has the highest unemployment rates in the world. You can't say because 50,000 people in Congo or wherever are having problems with their government, we become the home to those people. Where are these people going to be living? That's where we have squatter camps and informal settlements. Where they are going to school, those same schools that our children are not getting spots in. Where are they going to be getting healthcare? In those same hospitals where our grannies now have to wait for hours and hours in queues and sleep on beds and sleep on the floor instead of sleeping on beds and giving birth every 5 minutes. We can't have a system that allows refugees to just come. Everyone can be a refugee in this country. We are not a country that has enough resources to take care of its own people. How are we now extending an olive branch to everyone in the world to say come in, limited to 10,000 people? Why are we the only country where there's an unlimited number of refugees that can just walk in? Will we have a future for this country? Where are our children going to go to? If they can't open a spazza shop because it's run by Ethiopians, they can't go to Point Road because it's owned by Nigerians, you can't get a certain building because it's owned by Somalians, you can't do a certain thing because those jobs belong to people from Congo. What kind of country functions that way?